Wild, week 4. An Aussie poem. Ants and eagles and donkeys, oh my. This week we conclude, I cannot lie. This animal is strong, and if given the chance, he'll eat you, he will, or rip off your pants. The lion is who we look at today. Teeth and snarls and claws and mane. Found in the Bible, he's everywhere. For David and Daniel, he gave them a scare. The lion, we're told, to be like him, wild and strong like Sean at the gym. When faced with conflict, he never fears, only growing in courage, advancing in years. Whatever he faces, he sure doesn't fuss. So teach us again. Here's Pastor Rufus.
Before I start, let me recognize some college students from Penn State, Altoona. They are down front, led by Heather and Evan. Do I see Evan? Okay, very good. Stand and let's appreciatively applaud. Great. Wonderful. All right, Evan, stand. Yeah, now, good. All right. I was born a brittle asthmatic, as you know, birth genetic defect. Praise God, I've been healed from that. But when I was growing up, I was shorter and undersized. And as a result, I was ashamed of my body, of my appearance. Some of you can identify with that. I had high self-doubt, low self-esteem, no courage, low confidence. And I hated the times, dreaded the times when outside sporting activities would take place. You know, the bigger, stronger athletes, they would be chosen as the captains, and then the rest of us would line up begging to be chosen to be on their team. Anybody can remember those days? And I was often not chosen. And sometimes to avoid embarrassment of not being chosen, I would just volunteer to be the gopher. So I would go find the ball when it was hit out of bounds or hit over the fence. I would be the one to volunteer to do that just to participate. I may be talking to somebody who've had experiences like that too. High self-doubt, low self-esteem, no courage, low confidence. And then when we started going to church as a family, something started to slowly change. I could hardly put my finger on it, but as I sat week after week, which was a new experience for us as a family, and I heard Bible stories, I became fascinated with the Bible. I became so fascinated, I read it all the time. And I read it and read it. In fact, my stepfather said to me often, "Boy, go outside and play. You're going to go crazy. You're going to lose your mind reading that Bible all the time." And he was right. I did lose my mind. I began to see myself the way God saw me. I began to appreciate what God the Father had made, imperfect as it was, as I read story after story after story, and slowly my confidence and my courage began to grow. And I started living life with a roar. I'm sorry, I had to do that. I just love that song. But that's how he wants us to live life. He wants us to live it with courage and confidence. That's our theme for today. So I want to read for you, which is printed in your bulletin. Forgot my Walgreens specials there. All right. Dave will bring them to me. All right.
Darling in them.
Yeah, these are not quite mine, but yeah, I'll read this. Don't put this on video. Well, it's probably too late. During the time the Bible was written, the lion, especially the male, was a symbol of fear and courage and power. The male lion actually is the most well-rounded combination of intimidating attributes of all the beasts in terms of its size, approximately 10 feet, 500 pounds. In terms of its speed, it can run up to 50 miles per hour in short distances. In terms of its sound, often the word thunder and lion are translated from the same Hebrew word. In terms of its strength, because they eat large animals like buffalo, they can leap with a goat in its mouth and break the necks of its prey with one swipe of its powerful paw. With their subtlety, because they're able to blend in with their sandy color, their low crouching ability, and they can surprise and pounce upon their enemy, and their splendor, highlighted by the crown, the regal mane that is around their neck, which has earned them the title, the king of the jungle. And so in the ancient world, the lion was feared because of its ferociousness, its power, and admired for its courage. In fact, both the devil and Jesus Christ are depicted as lions in the Bible. Both the devil and Jesus Christ are depicted as lions in the Bible. And it's interesting that the Word of God chooses that depiction of a lion for Christ, because in the ancient world, the lion was only associated with that which was negative, like Peter writes in 1 Peter 5. Stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. That was the norm in the ancient world. He was feared because of his ferociousness and his power, admired because of courage. And then the Word of God does something that was not typically done. It then looks at the word lion in a more positive role. And so Revelation chapter 5 says this, "But one of the elders said to me, 'Don't cry. The Lion from the tribe of Judah has won the victory. He is David's descendant, and he is able to open the scroll and the seven seals,'" that is, to reveal the mystery of the times or the ages. And so what the Bible does is then takes Jesus Christ, who is the Lion of Judah. Judah was the fourth son of Jacob. And so Jesus came through the lineage of Judah. And it was prophesied that he would come as a lion, full of courage and confidence. And we did not have to fear whatever else was going to be upon us. In fact, this is what the Apostle Peter and John had in mind in the ancient world, particularly in the first century. The Roman Caesars had begun to persecute Christians, and Nero, Caligula, and others, and they would often bring them into the Colosseum. It would be a large spectacle, like a sporting event, and these Jesus followers would be there, and then they would release, guess what animal? Lions, for the most part, some tigers, and watch the lions devour those who were Jesus followers, mocking them for the life that they had lived. So the Word of God puts a positive spin on the lion. Both Jesus and the devil depicted as lions. However, here are the differences. Point 2, the devil as a lion is strong, but Christ as the lion is sovereign. And that's a world of difference between being strong and sovereign. Sovereign is a big theological word. It means to rule over, to super rule over. It means to reign over. Our modern vernacular would use the words large and in charge. That's what sovereign is. It means that God is big enough to do what he wants to do, with whom he wants to do it, whenever he wants to do it, and there is no stopping him. The sovereignty of God rules and super rules over our lives. So while the devil is strong as a lion, Christ as the lion is sovereign. So here's a mysterious passage in Revelation chapter 5. That's the book that reveals the mystery of the end of the age. Then I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one who was sitting on the throne. The scroll had writing on both sides and was kept closed with 7 seals. Nobody could know what was in it because they could not break the seal. They weren't strong enough. And I heard a powerful angel who called out in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll?" But there was no one in heaven or on earth or even under the earth who could open the scroll and look inside. So I cried, John says, and I cried because there was no one who was worthy to open the scroll and look inside and interpret the mystery of the universe, the mystery of the end times, the mystery of my life. But one of the elders said to me, "Don't cry. The Lion from the tribe of Judah has won the victory. He is David's descendant. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals and reveal the mystery of the age and the mystery of my life." So I may be talking to somebody as you're trying to figure it out. He's already figured it out. He has won the victory, and he is sovereign. When you look back in your life, as I look back in mine, when I happened to be in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, that was no accident or incident or coincidence. And some of you can look back in your life and see the sovereign hand of God directing your steps, even when you were not aware of it. And in large part, it's why you are where you are. I certainly can testify to that. I am the most unlikeliest of preachers. Completely unlikely. One, I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't know that. I'm an introvert. I am not an extrovert. And 2, I do not like speaking in public. I'm not kidding you. I don't like speaking in public. And 3, I don't like people. So I am the most unlikeliest person to be a preacher or a pastor. Some of you will catch that on the way home. Don't comment, don't write and tell me the pastor hates people. So when I was in the 11th grade, God used Vicki Oliver to unlock in his sovereign hand the mystery of my future. I had no idea. Miss Vicki Oliver in 11th grade, she was our vocational office education teacher, and she asked for me to stay after class one day. Now, I made all E's in conduct. I don't know if they do E's today. That means excellent conduct. That was never a peep. I sat at the back of the class. I never made any noise. I never got anything less than an E in conduct, and I didn't talk. And so she came to me after class, and she said, "I want you to represent the school in a speech contest." I said, "Miss Oliver, I don't, speech contest, I don't." She said, "Yes, it's a speech contest. We had a student, qualified, they're ill, they cannot represent, and I thought about somebody to represent us. It's you. Now, this is a state contest. This is not regional, school to school. This was state. I said, Miss Oliver, I don't even talk. I mean, I can't. She says, no, you can do it. It's called extemporaneous verbal communication. I said, what is that? I can't even say that. She said, it's simple. They're going to give you a subject. You think about it 5 minutes. They're going to call you in the room, and you talk about it 2 minutes. Whatever comes to your head, that's it. I said, oh, Miss Oliver, I can't do that. I'm sorry. She said, you will do it, and the bus leaves at 7 in the morning. That was a Saturday morning, so I was there. We drove to Angleton, Texas, round after round after round, extemporaneous verbal communication. They give a subject. I talk about it for 2 minutes, and I kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. Got to the final round, and at the end of the day, I won 3rd place in state. 3rd place. Now, don't clap, because that messed me up for the rest of my life. God used Vicki Oliver in a sovereign act to unlock the mysteries of my life and reveal in me what I did not even know existed. And to this day, I've asked her, what in the world did you see? Because I never said a word. But it unlocked this extemporaneous nature and introduced me to a gift that I had that I didn't even know that I had. The devil as a lion is strong, but Christ as the lion is sovereign. And you can look back over your life and see his hand. Let me give you another one. The devil as a lion needs permission to attack, but Christ as the lion needs no permission to act. He needs permission. But Christ as the lion needs no permission to act. Let me share with you a hard theological passage in Job chapter 1. It is here in Job chapter 1. Now look up at me for a minute. Most of us are not in Job's position. This is a worst case scenario. But the Bible gives it to us as a worst case scenario to show us that if God can handle the worst case, he can handle any lesser case. And so we have this insight into some of the mystery. One day, the members of the heavenly court came to present themselves before the Lord, and the accuser, Satan, came with them. Remember, he was an angel before. This was familiar territory with him. But he had fallen because of disobedience. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling, prowling, hunting the earth, watching everything that's going on. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? Thanks a lot, Lord. He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless. Doesn't mean he was perfect. He was a man of complete integrity. He fears God. He stays away from evil. And Satan replied to the Lord, oh, yes, I've noticed him. But Job has good reason to fear God. You have always put a wall of protection around him, his home, and his property. You have made him to prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. But reach out and take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. All right? You may test him, the Lord said to Satan. Do whatever you want with everything he possesses, but do not harm him physically. And Satan left the Lord's presence. As we read the story, we know that he decimated Job physically, financially, took everything he had. And at the end of that, Job said, naked I came into the world, naked I shall return. It was the Lord who gave it. Now the Lord has taken it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He needed permission. There's a lot of evil in the world, and we don't understand it all. And this is not a message to attempt to explain it. But think about of all the evil in the world, the devil, who is a lion, prowling, hunting, patrolling, wanting to destroy. It would be even worse were it not for the preventing hand of God. You can look in your life, I can look in my life to see that I could have or should have been worse off than I am, but I'm not, because he needs permission to attack. Christ the Lion does not need that permission to act. I'll give you another story from my young adulthood life. I was working my way through college, stop and go, and I was an 11 to 7 training manager. I trained 11 to 7 people to work in the evening, and guess when most robberies happen? Between 11 and 7. And so I was in my store one night, and 4 young men came into the store. One stood by the door, one stood in front of the counter, one came behind the counter. They all had knives, put a knife to my throat. One came in with a bag and putting in all kinds of goodies in the bag. And the one behind the counter with the knife to my throat said, "Give me all the money." The one in front of the counter then came and he stood in front of me and he said, "I want all the money." So I went in the register, gave him what was there, $20. He said, "No, you got more than that. You got more than that. Give me all the money." I said, "There is no more money." We were taught to drop anything over $20. And he lifted up the register and tried to turn it over and said, "It's got to be more money here than that." I said, "That's all I have." I said, "I can get you $20 every 2 minutes. And the guy in front said, "Oh, he's trying to be funny. Cut him. Just cut him." And I said, "I'm not trying to be funny. Here's a safe. It has money in it, but I can't access it but every 2 minutes." And he thought I was trying to be funny. And so it's the command to cut. For some reason, they did not cut. Now, I don't know what happened in that moment as I remember it, but out of nowhere, they just backed away and left the store with me unharmed. Now, the devil would have wanted to harm me as he would harm all of us. But that night, they didn't have permission. It was the sovereign hand of God. And you and I are alive or where we are. Can't you say in your life, it could be worse than it is? So let me give you a fourth one. I'm in great danger to the devil as a lion when I'm fighting alone. I'm in the greatest danger to the devil when I am fighting alone. Even the king of the jungle is stymied or slowed when animals are in a group, when they're together. And some groups of animals, they won't even attempt to attack. But if he catches you alone, you are in great danger. And that's why Peter says this: "Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you." Stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour or destroy. But stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering that you are going through. Now, if I'm not casting my cares on him who cares for me, that means that I am carrying it alone, which makes me vulnerable to discouragement, disheartened, and destruction. You don't have to be alone. That's why he's given us the royal family of God. No matter what I'm going through, I shouldn't isolate. I may have failed and embarrassed. Don't isolate. I may be sick and I don't want people to see me in my condition. Don't isolate. I'm in the greatest danger when I am fighting alone. Even if you don't have family here, you have your spiritual family, the royal family of God. So cast your cares on him and cast them on us. He cares for you. We care for you. You do not have to fight alone. I'll close with this. The devil as a lion is seeking and prowling to hurt you. But Christ as the lion is seeking, prowling, patrolling to help you. I love this. While the devil is hunting to hurt, Christ the lion is hunting to help. Many of us are familiar with John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his uniquely born son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. But it's verse 17. It's verse 17 that we don't often quote. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn or judge the world, but that the world through him might be liberated, rescued, saved, spared. That is, while Christ, the lion, or the devil as the lion is hunting to hurt, Christ has come to seek, to prowl, to hunt, to patrol, to help. He is looking for those who are on the margins, looking for those who are sorrowful, looking for those who are being overwhelmed. He is actually hunting for me so that I can be liberated and rescued and saved. That's what he's doing. As the lion, he's hunting. I close with this. I love the words of this song. When trouble is in my way and I cannot tell my night from day, and when I'm tossed from side to side like a ship out on a raging tide, I don't worry and I don't fret. God has never failed me yet. Yes, trouble comes from time to time, but that's all right. I'm not the worrying kind, because I've got confidence like a lion that God will see me through no matter what the case may be. I know that he will fix it for me. Job was sick for so long, his flesh fell from his bones, his wife, his cattle, his children, everything he had was gone. But Job, in his despair, he knew God still cared. He had some sleepless days and some sleepless nights, but Job said, it's all right, because I've got confidence like a lion that God will see me through no matter what my case may be. I know he has history with me, that he's going to see me through. Some people may wonder why you can smile even when you're going through trials, but you can say, I can have a song because everything is going wrong. I don't worry, I don't fret. God has a good history. He's never failed me yet. Yes, trouble will come from time to time, but it's all right. I'm not the worrying kind. I've got confidence like a lion. God will see me through no matter what the case may be. I know he has a good history with me, and I'm sure with you, that he's going to fix it for me so I can roar and live like a lion with confidence and courage. I got to stop right there. Heads are bowed, eyes are closed. Oh, gracious God, our Father. Thank you for reminding us through the lessons of these animals. Today, the lion. That though the devil is a lion, Jesus Christ is the lion. The devil as a lion is strong, but Jesus Christ as the lion is sovereign. And we thank you that we can look back over our lives and see your sovereign hand, even when we did not know you, lining up the circumstances of our lives to bring us to wherever we are. Many of us can testify that we've gone down some wrong roads, we've made some bad choices, and we ought to be suffering consequences much greater than we are, and we would be if it were left up to the devil, the roaring lion, but you have not given him permission, and you spared us. Would you help us not to fight alone? We can cast our cares on you. We have the royal family of God. Somebody is alone, discouraged because of failure, embarrassed, for whatever reason. Let them know they don't have to be alone. You are there, and we are here. And thank you for hunting us down, seeking us to rescue, to liberate, to deliver, and to expand us. It's in the name of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, even Jesus Christ, our Savior, do we pray and praise. Amen.